The Israeli Defense Force, Israel's well-funded and high-tech army, is the most moral army in the world. That is, if you believe the branding.
צה"ל הוא הצבא המוסרי ביותר בעולם.
The most moral army in the world.
The IDF is a moral army.
The most moral.
The moralist.
The IDF does more to safeguard the rights of civilians than any other army in the history of warfare.
But apart from the allegations of war crimes in Gaza, the attempts to paint it as an animal-friendly, queer-friendly, religiously tolerant military institution, the history of the IDF says more about it than its social media image. Before the formation of the State of Israel in 1948, and before there was an Israeli army, there were three underground Zionist militias: the Haganah, the Irgun, and the Lehi. They were comprised of mainly Jewish migrants to the British Mandate of Palestine, with the aim of helping usher in the Jewish state by any means necessary. They differed in their tactics and beliefs, and at times fought with each other, but together they terrorized Palestinian villages, committed acts of violence, terrorism, and ethnic cleansing, and executed bombings and assassinations against the British to force them to give up control of the land. They blew up hotels in Jerusalem, embassies in Europe, and assassinated a UN mediator. All of this happened before 1948, because after Israel was officiated as a state, these three groups would be brought together to create the IDF, and their militia leaders would go on to form Israel's government, become politicians, ambassadors, and prime ministers, and their dark history would be forgotten. Abraham Stern decided to split from the group and form his own militia, the Lehi, or Stern Gang, and tried to raise funds by robbing British banks, which were almost never successful. Stern's ideas were even more radical than Jabotinsky's. He advocated for the expulsion or complete annihilation of Palestinians, describing Jews as a master race and Arabs as a slave race. He and his group of small but fevered followers referred to themselves as terrorists, who believed that acts of terror were justified to reach their aims. Stern was so obsessed with fighting the British that in 1941 he wrote to Nazi authorities, pledging to fight alongside Hitler against the British if he agreed to help establish a Jewish state in Palestine.
He wanted to fight the British in order to gain independence. Stern, in his utter naivety, believed he could form an alliance with Hitler against the British.
He wanted to make an agreement with the Nazis so that the Nazis will send or let the Jews from Europe come here to Israel and be safe. And in addition, the Lehi will help the Germans by fighting the British.
But the Nazis never wrote back. Eventually, Stern was killed while attempting to flee an arrest warrant by British police. And while his group never gained the dominance he wished, it would continue to wield a significant impact on the events over the next few years. David Ben-Gurion, now the first prime minister of the new Jewish state, announced the formation of the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force, combining the Haganah and the Irgun, with the majority of Lehi members joining its ranks. The Israeli Defense Force would become the foundation of the State of Israel, and its history of terror, assassinations, and ethnic cleansing would be wiped clean.